You know what they say? They being the proverbial mass of people whom is just the general collective, which by the way is actually just appointed to societal inclusion of like that. kind of that we are a part of this greater structure, and that's your culture, your identity, who you are, who you claim to be, the steps you're taking to be there, the love you give, the love you withhold, that's all a part of them, you know, because them is really just a projected perspective of the space and time we live in. But anyway, what they say is trust the process, you know, and it's kind of that thing of like, because if you look at all of that, you can either look at it as completely working against you and it's all failing and it's all completely wrong, or you can look at it and say, okay, it's a part of what's happening. It's a part of the unfolding, and you know, then we have the opportunity to take in a whole number of different worldviews and opportunities and circumstances, and kind of begin to piece them together in the way that like is us, is you, is me and we, you know. And like for me, that's what I believe being human is. It's the fact that we have this ability to piece things together uniquely, so that even if they were, I mean, now that we're getting super intelligence forming into a potentiality of happenings, ultimately, like human intelligence is then still like humanity, like the aspect and ways in which we live. And look, good or bad, let's not get into that, because there's a lot of ways to slice a cake. But I feel like the bigger thing here is that trusting the process is a space of creativity and doing one's best with creativity in mind, and how it is that we can do it, because whatever we're in, we're there, you know, like fundamentally. Like the word sounds so simple. Yeah, wherever you are, that's where you are. It's like, yeah, that's where you are, where every piece of you is and is kind of meant to be. So how can we make use of that? How can we make use of wherever, whatever that is, and like see it as the grounding, as the foundation? And for me, coming back again, I feel like that's trust the process. You know, trust the process and engage with the process. A part of my process with that is to do less. Not in the sense of like, you know, challenging myself less, but for me, doing many different things. You know, the good old trope of multitasking, learning that it's actually just like task hopping really quickly, which is kind of cool, don't get me wrong, fundamentally, like cool concept, cool thing, but also incredibly useless. Like it's fundamentally not useful to task switch so much that you don't get nearly as many things done. So as a result of that, focusing on one thing and like creating capacity to focus on that one thing and engaging with that one thing for me, you know, because my pattern within that process that I've been engaged with is to want to give and share, and it's beautiful, of course, and I still want to do that, funnily enough, but I also want to do it from a place that's full and whole, as opposed to just this thing that I feel like I have to do to be a productive piece of the environment that I'm a part of, you know. So it's kind of like that coming home, coming back to self space. So for me, that's led me to trust the process, which is this is a part of that process. And I think that's kind of fundamentally one of the more challenging things to piece together, is that where we are right now is a product, but also a part of the process, and therefore how we show up into it, in and with it, to the next moment, is a part of building coherence. Are we coherent in the way that we are like moving from somewhere and to somewhere? Because if we are, then it means that we're gaining momentum, you know. Momentum being that big carrier, the thing that can help us to keep going. So to build coherence and then maintain it in a way that we allow it to fully kind of, you know, disrupt us. Because that's the big thing, is when we're really building a good amount of momentum, we're ultimately allowing that we've been working with to continue to work through us. You know, look, and this is where it starts touching on really beautiful concepts like surrender, faith, trust, diving in, jump and you will be caught. Like all of these really, really incredible perspectives of life, kind of just pointing towards the fact that, hey, we don't know, but we can do our best to show up in a way that we can figure it out and be figuring it out together. So trust the process, guys. It's piece by piece, and this is just part one.